Welcome to the second part of anti-nutritional factors. We will start with the remaining anti-nutritional factors. The first part of anti-nutritional factors is given in the description link. You can go through it. So let us start with saponins. So they are found in various legumes and pulses. They are the heterogeneous group, basically triterpene or steroidal glycoside, which have soap-like ability of forming foam. They produce foam. They are present in wide range of plants including pulses, oil, seeds, kidney bean, chickpea, soybean, groundnut and sunflower. So, what are the effects on consuming these anti-nutritional factors? It causes bitterness, throat irritating activity on consumption. It has a strong hemolytic activity. It also reduces the bioavailability of nutrients. It affects protein digestibility by inhibiting various digestive enzymes such as trypsin and chymotrypsin. So the saponins can be easily removed by sprouting and roasting. Saponin production can be easily seen when you wash soybean or when you boil soybean. The foam which you see on the top during boiling is due to saponins present in those pulses and legumes. Anti-nutritional factors is oxalates. The salts of oxalic acids are known as oxalates. So there is strong bond formed between this oxalic acid and minerals such as calcium, magnesium, sodium and potassium. The complex formed between sodium and potassium are soluble, whereas when there is formation of calcium oxalate, it is insoluble. Oxalates can be found in various vegetables. So let us see what are the effects on consumption of oxalates. So basically it interferes with the calcium absorption. Oxalates bind to calcium and forms insoluble calcium oxalate, which prevents its absorption in the human body. It can cause hypocalcemia, tanany, death due to combination with calcium, also affect kidney and renal failure. Reduction of oxalates in food can be brought by increasing the consumption of calcium-rich foods such as dairy products, seafood, and enhanced intake of vitamin D in our diet. Next is gossypol. It is a polyphenolic compound. This antinutritive is a yellow pigment and present in all parts of the cotton plant. And the highest level of this polyphenol is found in the cotton seed. Gossypol exists in three tautomeric forms, that is phenolic koinol tautomer, aldehyde and hemiacetal. It forms insoluble chelates which may essential metals such as iron and binds to amino acid moieties in protein, especially lysine. So it chelates the metal ion and interfere with the absorption of minerals in our body. Gossypol can also reduce the availability of food proteins and can also inactivate important enzymes. It can cause the problem to the reproductive system by affecting reproductive tissue or pituitary and gonadal hormone secretion and impair protein digestibility, which can result in reduced growth. So let us see what are the solution or reduction method for these anti-nutritional factors. Toxic in free form but processing cottonseed with heat, free gossypol bound to proteins. Level can be reduced by 50 to 99%. It means heat processing can reduce the gossypol level from the cottonseed by 50 to 99%. But still protein bioavailability is reduced at some amount. Next anti-nutritional factors we will move on to cyanogenic glycosides. These are present in linseed, lima bean, kidney bean and red gram. The general function in plant is dependent on activation of beta glucosidase to release toxic volatile hydrogen cyanide, ketones or aldehyde to fend off herbivore and pathogen attack. It is a self-defense mechanism present in the plant. So this effect is It blocks respiratory chain reaction, cellular hypoxia occurred, and hydrogen cyanide, which is released by the plants, is very toxic at very low concentration. It can cause dysfunction of central nervous system and respiratory failure, and in some cases cardiac arrest. Let us see how this can be reduced in our diet or detoxification can occur. So it is heat stable. So soaking 3 days at 30 degrees Celsius and sun drying of another 2 days, or incubation at 30 degrees Celsius for 18 hours, which will be followed by steam heat to evaporate the hydrogen cyanide, are efficient treatment for removal of or reduction of cyanogenic glycosides from the food. Next, anti-nutritional factors are lathyrogens. They are the amino acid which are naturally toxic, and they are found in the kesari dal genus Lathyrus. It causes neurolathyrism. Human lathyrism is characterized by red and spasmodic paralysis of the trend of neurological lesions of spinal cord degeneration. The chemical which is found to be responsible of this neurotoxicity is beta and oxyl 1 alpha beta diaminopropionic acid, that is beta ODPA. Let us see what are the detoxification methods. So attempts have been made to process needs in order to remove this toxin from the lathyrus. The methods involved are cooking the seeds in excess water and draining the water, soaking the dehusked seed overnight followed by steaming for 30 minutes. However, there is substantial loss of water-soluble vitamins such as thiamine, riboflavin. These are B vitamins. Roasting the seeds at 150 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes can also help in destruction of neurotoxins. Next are antivitamin factors. So they are the naturally occurring group which can decompose vitamins or make them unabsorbable in the body. Example are ascorbic acid oxidase, antithiamine factors, and antipyridoxine factors. Antivitamin A factors are present in soybean, which destroys carotene and is not readily destroyed by heat. Antivitamin D factors are also present in soybean, which interferes with the calcium and phosphorus absorption and is destroyed by autoclaving. It means it is heat liable. Antivitamin E factor present in kidney beans, soybean, alfalfa and field pea causes liver necrosis and muscular dystrophy, is destroyed by autoclaving. Antivitamin K factor present in sweet clove. Antithiamine factor is present in cotton seed, linseed, mung bean and mustard seed. Anti-niacin factor is found to be present in sorghum. Anti-pyridoxine factor is found in linseed, which can be destroyed by water extraction and autoclaving. Antivitamin B factor B12 present in raw soybean. So some are heat liable, they can be destroyed by heat, and some of them which are heat stable can be removed by water extraction. Then are the oligosaccharides. They are from the carbohydrate family containing 8 to 10 molecule of sugar or glucose. They are present in the legume seed and causes flatulence. They are from the raffinose family of monosaccharide, which includes raffinose, stachys and verbascose. They escape digestion because our body lacks 1,6-galactosidase enzyme, which is normally present in mammalian intestine, but it is not present in human body. This enzyme is important for digestion or breakdown of these oligosaccharides. But as the enzyme is not available, the oligosaccharides remain in the intestine. The microflora which is present in the lower intestine feed on this oligosaccharide and fermentation occurs, and due to fermentation there is production of large amount of carbon dioxide and hydrogen and also small quantity of methane. So this causes flatulence in our body. Next we will talk about alkaloids. Some of the more well-known alkaloids include nicotine present in tobacco, quinine in cinchona bark, solanine in potatoes. So to reducing the effect of alkaloids is either by removing them by aqueous extraction, that is solanine can be extracted from potatoes by hot water, okay, and urging all toxins due to alkaloid presence in sanguinarine. So there is a alkaloid named sanguinarine which is present in argemone oil and it is very toxic. Let us see what are the toxic effects caused due to alkaloids. The toxic effects include vomiting, diarrhea, irregular fever, anorexia, disruption of cell membrane, rapid heart rate, paralysis and neurological disorders. Let's move on to the allergens. So these are the substances which we generally find in the food. They cause allergic reaction to some specific or certain individuals. The level of harm is dependent on the sensitivity of the individual and not on the concentration of the allergen intake or consumed. Diarrhea and vomiting are some of the symptoms of allergy. Protein with high molecular weight are major reasons which causes allergy. Histamine and compounds of histamine derivative act as antigens against these allergens. So this was all about the anti-nutritional factors. Thank you.